Art is not just about drawing or painting. Art is about feeling.
It's the tool of expression.
It touches you on a level that cannot be explained.
Without artists, we have no mirror to who we are as a society.
You go watch movies, what is that? You go buy fine art, what is that? It's art.
It's fundamental to our very existence as human beings.
It was a safe haven for me.
It basically gave me so much hope.
I don't know what I would have been doing. I would have just been super naughty and running around on the streets and probably do drugs and die.
The importance of arts in a school is to build the holistic development of a child.
Absolutely imperative that young children from a very early age are exposed to art, do art for their own healing and their own souls.
After school, I had to go to the dance classes to unwind the situation that I was going through at home. And art, I find it as an escape of creating the world that I want to live in.
Art at school really does establish the grounds for critical thinking.
I know that there's a course in robotics, but really honestly, do we really want to act like robots? We need to have some sense of opinion, some sense of criticism, some sense of appreciation, and some way of thinking.
Science invents. That's what science does. It figures things out and whatever. And art digests.
We have blood flowing through our veins and a pulse and a heart. And that is what the art does, is it brings out all of those juices that's flowing in your body.
We worship through the arts. When we worship, we sing. We love through the arts. When you love someone, you're inclined to write poetry, and we express our human self through the arts.
If in a funeral, I must dance in a funeral. There's a dance for the funeral. If it's in a wedding, I must dance in my wedding. So there's always art in our everyday life.
If we want to go back to our history, theatre helped this country to be where it is now. If you're talking about Utatu Chonkane, if you're talking about Winston Chona, they use theatre for the outside world to know what's going on in South Africa.
We need to recognize what the power of art can be for our country. And it is as big, it should be as big as sports.
It's paramount, really, in my opinion, that creative arts is taught to everybody, not just school kids. I wish they could teach it in some companies.
The art is something that traverses the creative, it goes into the collective, it goes into the physical.
You know, becoming an accountant is equally valuable as becoming an artist. And people usually say it the other way around, but it is to be seen on the same level. It is essential.
Check yourself first in terms of like what your passion is, and then pursue it with everything that you've got.
And also love what you are doing, not fake what you are doing, because music will expose you.
There's so many things that the arts can teach you that you are not going to find in other places. It teaches you confidence, it teaches you ways that you can express yourself and interact with other people. It teaches you how to overcome your fears.
Dancing teaches us to practice, to rehearse, to do things over and over so that we build up the stamina to see it through.
How to stand and breathe and be confident about yourself, but it also teaches you how to empathize with other people.
And if we understand how people are not just communicating through the words that they speak, but through the hidden subtexts, through the physical language, through the vocal mannerisms that they share, I think we become better human beings.
You learn about people when you do dance. That's the bonus part of it.
Sometimes you can make something that can mean 1,000 different things to 1,000 different people, or even just to one person.
The activity of bringing something new into being is enormously gratifying, and to have that in one's day, every day of one's life is an enormous privilege.
You're able to stand alone in the world because you've created something that cannot be repeated by anybody else.
It's like exactly what I wanted my art to do, that it is shouting from faraway lands outside of South Africa.
I love being on stage, sharing my gift with people. I love it when someone comes to me after a performance saying, "You've really touched my soul," you know.
Our job as artists, particularly in live performance, is to rest in the day. And then we come out at night, and when those people are at their most tired and uninspired and low energy, we tell them stories and revitalize them, re-energize them, so that they can go and do their work efficiently the following day. That's our job.
It's almost like you're part of a holy experience. You're sitting in a space, a live space, sharing energy with an artist on stage. And that transition, which is so delicate, it really does alter you on I would say on an almost cellular level.
We have the opportunity to see the individual story rather than just interpret broad strokes all the time. And that is how we're going to change the world. That is what helps us to be moved by each other, that we need to continually share our stories and our expressions and our feelings so that we can gain greater understanding and appreciation for that which is different.
Arts is about the soul. And if a country is without the soul, you're going to have computer programmers, you're going to have planners of a city without emotional intelligence or emotional spatial intelligence. And that is so important, that we can't create artists when you're 30 years old. You start with pre-primary.